Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person, talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. My co-host here, Mike Rday, is in studio, and he is the award-winning author and a human behavior expert. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We are friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on TechTime Radio. Buckle up as we drive into the latest technology news and stories. Here's what we have on today's palette. In a startling incident, facial recognition technology is misidentifying innocent people as shoplifters. The accuracy and privacy implementations are not working, and the systems are essentially being held to scrutiny for how they are not working with the information they get from the cameras themselves. Now, ChatGPT, our popular AI language model, has decided to take a vacation. It's experiencing some downtime today, and the busyness and developers are working tirelessly to address the challenge and restore its functionality. Now, did you try using ChatGPT today? You said you tried using it.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah, mine came on back with saying my request was too difficult to answer, and I asked what was going on for ChatGPT today. So I asked
mine
it about
just froze.
Yours just froze. Well, guess what? ChatGPT may be on the fritz, and they are still working to resolve it. Now, some of the functionality is up as I'm speaking live on the radio, but a lot of the other advanced API calls and different aspects of ChatGPT still remain down. Now, are you concerned about privacy? I'm going to talk to you on my Nathan Nugget to learn how to opt out of having your Instagram and Facebook posts used for AI training if you're in Europe. But if you're in the United States, guess what? We do not have the same regulations that we're putting in with Facebook and Instagram, so we cannot opt out of the AI learning process. So every single time you post something on Facebook or Instagram, they are now putting it into their large language model, and they're using everything that you put to help generate what they consider to be a competitor for ChatGPT. Is that fair? Should you have to automatically opt into that, or should you have the same process that's in Europe with the GDPR that's in place to have privacy protected? We're going to get more into that and talk about that, along with Elon Musk did something a little bit unique. He essentially diverted chips for AI to move from NVIDIA that were possibly or supposed to go to the Tesla Corporation, and he decided to move them to his X company and his XAI instead of sending it to Tesla. Now, Tesla stockholders, Tesla people are all up in arms because why didn't these chips get shipped to there? We're going to be talking about that too. And Microsoft is deciding that they're going to put AI into customer service call centers. And nothing better than calling up a call center after you wait an hour and a half online. And then you get an AI prompt that will come back to you with PowerPoint slides and show you how to correct your problem. Would you be up for that?
I don't know. Is there going to be typing sounds to go along with it?
Well, that's what you get when you get it on Comcast, right?
On Comcast,
this customer service.
You listen to a video and a voice, and then it makes a little click.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because it seems like they think starting July 1st, that's what they're going to be implementing into call centers, specifically theirs at first. and others available to use their AI.
How are they gonna give me a PowerPoint over my phone?
Well, we'll talk about that. I got an answer for you. And massive leaks from YouTube. YouTube insider leaks have surfaced that essentially reveal hidden secrets and backstage drama content creators and viewers are recognizing. Now, we've had some data leak. Grand Theft Auto's newest game was leaked online.
No.
Was it leaked online, or was Grand Theft Auto going to be made an announcement and somebody decided to go into the YouTube algorithm and actually save it for an upcoming date to release it? This has now happened more than once, more than twice. It's now happened 5 times. And there's an actual leak, it looks like, inside of Google, where people are going and looking for your posts that you may post for a later time or delayed post on their system. And if it's really secretive, they're having people actually go through and find those videos. So we're going to be talking about that too. Now,
I don't know what you're doing over there.
she says, there you go. And
of
like
course, making things at us.
In addition, we have our standard features, Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, and a possible Nathan Nugget. So we do have our whiskey tasting. Mark's not here in the studio, so we'll see if our whiskey that we have here today gets 1, 2 thumbs up. It's a different bottle. I had a little bit to sip with it before the show. So
this is not.
Well, it's a whiskey. We'll hear more about that because Odie has that covered. But now let's move into the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1. Musk asked NVIDIA to ship the AI chips booked for Tesla to X and XAI. Let's go to Karen Westland for more on the story.
Musk is shipping AI chips booked for Tesla to X and XAI. Is Musk worried about the AI race and his X platform? Musk's AI startup, XAI, is racing against OpenAI, Google, and others to produce useful applications for generative AI and their underlying large language models. According to CNBC, the change delays Tesla's receipt of more than $500 million in processors by month's end. This AI race is so heated that even ChatGPT is melting down today. I'm sure you guys will be talking about this story too. Back to you in the studio.
All right, so let's talk about this. Tesla's supposed to get a product from NVIDIA. This is supposed to enhance their self-driving AI. These chips from NVIDIA can process more subroutines than standard chips that are in the systems themselves. Some of these are replaceable, so I can just take an old chip out. Remember the old system boards you used to have? You take a chip out, you put a new chip in. Kind of has the same ability to do with these chips in itself, but instead of sending it to Tesla, where it was originally ordered, Musk decided that, hey, I need them for my AI company instead. So I'm going to send them there. And Tesla, you're just going to have to wait to get the next shipment that has already been ordered, but isn't readily available.
Is NVIDIA doing that, or are they actually?
No, NVIDIA changed it. So NVIDIA is planning to ship it. Yeah, they're sending it to.
Okay, the second question that I would have is, can Musk do that? Because these are companies that are entities on their own right.
Well, that's why it's kind of getting news, right? So you shouldn't be able to. I mean, it must be nice to be Elon and have so many companies, right? I mean, he's got space shuttle stuff. He's got his AI stuff. He's got his Twitter mess that's now X. And there's no Twitter anymore. It's all X.com. My old Twitter login accounts no longer replicate. You have to use X.com. So he decides to call up the company presidents, probably the distributors and the president of the NVIDIA, and says, hey, I need those shipped to my AI company. Just will swip the orders. You guys send them over here to my AI company. And then the next order that was ordered from my AI company, you send it to Tesla. Now, as a Tesla driver, I don't really care about the AI aspect of this because that's a company that Elon's trying to start up. And I think he's so far behind. I think everybody's so far behind. ChatGPT is essentially going to own the market, I think, for the next 10 years. No one's going to be close. It'll be a second place type of deal, but it's not going to be a Coke Pepsi. It's going to be like a Coke and Shasta type of deal. There's going to be a one.
Dr. Pepper is now the second leading soda in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it would be like Dr. Pepper and not Mr. Pibb, but Mr. Fizz that you get from the Shasta company. You know, there's the one that's the cheap version. But should Musk have done this? That's why it's on the news. Not that he did do it, but should he have done this? As a Tesla owner, would you be upset?
As a Tesla owner, I don't think I would care.
Okay.
As, you know, as a regular person, I don't think I care.
Okay.
From a professional aspect, I'm curious about whether or not he's allowed to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Because
I guess if you had
that's moving stuff that belongs to one company to another company without.
Yeah, do you just put it in as a ledger as this is going to come in here and I'm going to pay for this?
So that, to me, that's a little shady, but I don't know if he has that. If he has that kind of control, then okay, whatever.
Well,
I don't care.
It was kind of a light day in some of the technology news, so I guess
Yeah.
Elon last night decided that he was going to cause some mysterious moves, and he decided to do that.
Why didn't he exit?
Why didn't he exit what?
Just X something.
Just X something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like tweet something.
I get you. All right. Story number 2. I think you got that up. This is your favorite subject here.
Yeah, I love talking about how facial recognition works really well.
Yes, you do.
So this is a story that's coming to us from Europe. Well,
Okay.
Great Britain, actually.
Okay.
And it's the first story is about someone who is identifying herself as Sarah.
Okay.
And it says that she needs some chocolate.
She needs some chocolate. Okay.
Because she's had a bad day.
All right.
So she walked into a home bargain store, which is a store over in Britain. She was there less than a minute when she was approached by a store worker who said that she was a thief and that she would need to leave the store.
Oh.
Of course, she didn't know what was going on because I don't think she was aware that a facial recognition system called Face Watch had tagged her as a thief.
Okay. So the AI has tagged her as a thief.
Right.
Okay.
So she said her bag was searched, and then she was let out of the store and told that she was banned from all the stores using that technology.
Well, that's not very cool.
That is not cool.
No.
So Face Watch is used in numerous stores in the UK, including Budgeons, Sports Director, Cost Cutter, and this Home
Furnishing store,
Home Bargain store.
Okay.
Face Watch later wrote to Sarah and acknowledged it had made an error.
Well,
The company, of course, declined to comment on Sarah's case to the BBC, but it said its technology helped to prevent crimes and protect frontline workers. Home Bargains, too, declined to comment. It's just not retailers who are turning to the technology. Here is one. The next piece to this story is about a humid day in Bethel Greens. I don't know if you know where that is. I don't.
it's in
East London.
Yep.
The police positioned a modified white van on the high street, and cameras attached to its roof captured thousands of images of people's faces. If they match people on a police watch list, officers would then speak to them and potentially arrest them. Mr. Thompson, Sean Thompson,
Okay.
Who works for a youth advocacy group called Street Fathers, didn't think much of it when he walked by the van near London Bridge in February. Within a few seconds, though, he was approached by police and told he was a wanted man. He says that's when I got a nudge on the shoulder saying that at that time he was wanted. He says he was the victim of mistaken identity. He was asked to give fingerprints and held for 20 minutes. He says he was only let go after handing over a copy of his passport. Again, this was Face Watch, right?
Yep.
So this is a problem. We've talked about it before. And it does create issues with civil liberty groups. They're worried about accuracy. It also is not very helpful from the populist point of view. They look at it as your face has become a barcode. And I don't know if you know how much like London uses closed circuit TVs and stuff. They have
way more than, because they're smaller than the United States.
Well, they're smaller, and they also have the ability to utilize that system as a crime
security
prevention
system.
thing. But this is being put into grocery stores and stuff to help with shoplifting. And these two cases, I believe in the article there were more than just these two cases, but these two cases represent the continuing problem with using this type of technology. One, because it identifies somebody as somebody who it's not. And then people do things without checking, right? So this person in the grocery store immediately went up to her. The Sarah person told her she's not allowed to be in there. They searched her, threw her out, told her she was banned.
So what if I said, no, you're not going to search me? I'm not the person you think I am. I don't have any problems with that. I guess they'd throw you out too, and then
in America they can't do anything.
Correct.
If somebody,
innocent.
That's right. If somebody says, "Hey, you're going to be searched," I'm like, "No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm walking right out of here. And if you think I stole something, you can call the cops because you can't touch me."
Correct. Well,
at any rate,
do you think that they're going to get better on this technology?
Do I think?
Yeah. Well,
maybe we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask you that on Mike's.
I'll think about that. But we know how much I love talking about this stuff.
Oh, there you go. I want to hear from you on that. All right, let's go to story number 3. Breaking news: ChatGPT is down. Down Detector, a site that keeps track of websites' downtimes. There's a surge of reports from users in the early hours of Tuesday morning. These were users that could not access ChatGPT. OpenAI hasn't revealed the nature of the issue. The latest update as of 2 p.m. Pacific time says we're continuing to work on a fix for this issue. Now, the update essentially happened overnight when ChatGPT appeared to have some difficulties. The popular AI tool that essentially was down says it comes back with a prompt saying we're experiencing exceptionally high demand. Please try again later. So ChatGPT is either having some problems with their new 4.0 release, someone got into the system and is causing problems, or what could be the other conversational piece is that so many people are using ChatGPT that their servers overloaded. Now, which one do you think it's going to be?
I think it's got to be just a technical issue.
I think it's a technical. I don't think anybody hacked into it.
I don't think suddenly everybody decided to use ChatGPT today.
No,
and it messed up their.
I think they had some configurations issues. I don't think somebody hacked into it or did anything. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, but up here where we live, we've been having power outages all over the place. So ChatGPT going out probably is like, whatever.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. All right, story number 4. Microsoft takes its AI push to customer service call centers as it will introduce new artificial intelligence tools for customer service calls. Just think of that. Let's go to David Larson with more on the story.
Microsoft today introduced new artificial intelligence tools for customer service call centers. Microsoft-backed ChatGPT is introducing AI technology into several business fields with what it calls Copilot technology. This technology is capable of summarizing emails and crafting PowerPoint slides as part of call center support. With the introduction of Copilot to call centers, Microsoft is boldly stepping into a new arena, challenging industry leaders like Salesforce and Zoom. Let me understand this. So, you call a call center, and now you get an AI voice with PowerPoint slides? That should make the host and listeners go, All
right, so this is interesting, right? This is so
I don't find this to be interesting.
You don't find this to be interesting?
No.
Well, okay, so I'm on two pendulums on the swing here. One on one side where I think it is fantastic, and the other side I'm probably not going to be too happy with it. So essentially, the AI tool can go through all of the material, help desk manuals, any of the manuals that they have, and create a logical tree of information for those manuals.
Yes.
Which is better than probably most people, even if they read through all of those and were really paying attention and taking notes down and having the information, probably aren't going to find the information that the AI can actually come up with and consolidate and say, well, if you're having problems with your email client clicking here, here's the 7 solutions that we have in here. Here's the top one that gets used the most that people recommend, and give that as an alternative for the support person. I think that's great. That's a great use of AI technology that I'm so happy with.
Really?
Yes. But on the other hand, I don't think I would be okay within like an AI voice or some animated PowerPoint if I'm on a chat message, PowerPoint slide coming on up, explaining to me essentially the steps to fix this versus actually talking to a person if I've done it. So as a technical guy myself, I'm going to Google my question 2 or 3 times before I reach out to call a customer support agent.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you had your new cable put in,
Mm-hmm.
you needed to have a wall jack that was taken care of, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now we can play on my problem with the call center folks because they were assuming something that was not there.
So they were assuming it was something else.
They thought I was having trouble with hooking up the internet. And I was, because the jack was broken.
Okay. So if you're that person that's calling up and they give you all the solutions to get your internet working, that would be great. But you could have cared less about that because you knew that if your jack worked in your outlet, you would have had the internet probably working, right?
Yeah, what happened was I put in a request for a technician to come out and fix the wall jack because the wall jack was broken.
Yes. The actual cable.
Yep. And they kept escalating me to the call center. They would literally call my phone.
So the AI is answering it for you right now instead of a live person.
Yeah, well, these were live people.
Okay, these
were live people calling me up and saying, we can help you get your internet started.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. And so we went through the process. I got my internet working, but the wall jack was still. I had 2 wall jacks. I had a wall jack in the back part of the building, right?
But would you be happy with an AI responding to you?
No.
Because no matter how good the AI had that information, I mean, they may have had the information. Hey, your internet's blah 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 blah. You wanted to talk with somebody and say, hey, I just need a jack.
Maybe it was an AI person.
Maybe it was.
I don't know because they kept escalating me and saying, okay, now you don't need a technician. And I kept I ended up screaming at them that I needed the technician to fix the wall jack that was broken.
Well, I'll tell you this. Microsoft is releasing this new contact center software starting July 1st. And I have some advantages. I think that it could be really good. And then some of the aspects of that, I think that this could be a lazy man's tool to do nothing.
So I can agree with you on some parts. Okay. So, if I have a question at home, I will do very similar things to you. I don't want to call the call center. I want to find the answer.
Okay.
And I'll Google the problem.
Yep.
Okay. And then I have to look and see what it is. Now, there are times where I use an AI generated thing. I have one through my workplace that does exactly what this does.
Yep.
And I stump it half the time.
Okay.
So that for me is a big problem.
Okay. All right. There you go. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have our letters segment up next. So buckle up as our tech enthusiasts. We're going to drive 88 miles per hour into our next segment as we drink some whiskey. See you after this break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, a little whiskey on the side. Now, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is out, so we have Odie explaining our tasting. Odie, what are we tasting today?
Today, y'all are tasting the Cognac
Yep, correct.
Park Single Barrel Cellar Number 5, 2016 Petite Champagne.
Okay. campaign.
Which both of you, as you were, especially you, Mike, you were very, I don't know, pensive about it. Just, you're like, no, this is not a bourbon. What is this? Yes, it is not. Or not really. But, we're branching into new things today.
Oh, so this isn't a bourbon.
So what is it? Is it a cognac?
Okay, so it's a single barrel offerings, rare cognac. A mere 180 bottles were produced from this particular barrel of brandy. The liquid is dark amber with a warm, concentrated caramel aroma. The palate echoes that caramel along with a darker toffee, drawing to an oaky, tea-like notes mid-palate, then finishing with a spicy and warm, yet lingering vanilla. Did you guys get that?
I did get the vanilla.
No, I didn't get it.
Okay.
Okay, what's the proof?
I
of
got this tastes pretty good.
It's 90 proof.
90 proof. I did
Okay,
taste it.
low proof.
It did taste like it had a little bit of a bite, so that makes sense. There's some.
I didn't get a bite at all.
You didn't get a bite at all?
No, I got it's a very pleasantly tasting non-bourbon.
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 Okay. All right. I don't know why Mark did that. Well, Mark's out, so we're gonna have to find out
why did you give us cognac, Mark?
Yeah.
The distillery is Distillery Tessender and Fills from Tessender and Fills in Cognac, France.
Okay.
It is a classification of a cognac, and 90 proof. Mash bill is 100% grapes. Price goes for about $75.
I taste the grape.
See, this has nothing to do with whiskey.
Yeah.
That's why we need to listen to the Mark Mumbles.
This is
Oh,
whiskey
that's
wine.
Oh, whiskey wine. All right. Well, with our first whiskey wine tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment today. We bring back the funny yet informative reading of emails that I received during the week. This includes scam, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in the segment we call Letters.
Letters, we get letters. We get back of letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have
All right, we're gonna start out with Mike first, because Mike, you got a real scam, a real hardworking scam email that came across the desk.
You've got a really strange thing here. So what it looks like is a email back and forth between several people, 3 people.
Okay,
and so it starts on May 30th. From Rachel Draper at hello@eeservices.com, who is talking to Susan Wykes of wellsandroot.co.uk. And it basically just says, "Hi, Susan, Kylie, please could you email prices over for one case and packing for a machine, the size of which is," and then they've got dimensions, "what the freight cost would be to send that to Rosario, Argentina, including any customs charges. Please send us separate prices. Look forward to hearing from you."
Okay.
And then there's a follow-up email from someone named Minal.
Okay.
Who says, "Hi, Susan, just replying on Rachel's behalf. Here is the address." Then you have from Susan Wykes at Susan@Wells&Root. "Hi, Rachel, do you require this delivered to the door? So we need a postal code."
So it keeps on looking like it's sending it from this hello@EE Services, right?
Yeah. So this is the interesting thing, because it's from Rachel Draper at hello@EE Services, and I'm going to say something in just a second because we know why. Followed by a reply from Susan Wykes at Wells&Root, and then there's this weird one from Ace Hardware replying to everything from prestigeaccess.org, but signed Susan Wykes of Wells&Root. So
she changed her email.
The email changed.
So,
but yes, Susan or Rachel Draper at hello@EE Service. Now, you own EE Services.
Hello@EE Services are a general bucket for generic email. So that is not being sent from hello@EE Services. If you look at the Exchange MX records, no transaction was ever sent from hello@EE Services.
Is this a direct translation of your email?
So what this is they have a fake conversation. These scammers have a fake conversation. And you can cut and paste after you send an email and type in whatever email address you want to in the email itself, because it's a forward. right? It's not the original content of the message,
Okay.
but it's a forward. And as you keep on going back and forth, that individual could have been anybody at yahoo.com or at gmail.com. But what they did is they went back in and they added that hello at EE services. And the last email that they send, they include the hello at email services. So if that's just a large bucket, let's say that was a large bucket for a company of 500 people, and they're looking at it, what there's going to do is the person will then go through, see all these communications, think that maybe that Draper person
let me
exists in the company.
Even though I know the answer to this.
Okay.
Do you employ Don Draper's daughter?
I do not. I do not have any Drapers that are a part of the e-service company. But what happens is if they drop it in this large bucket and then we see it, if I'm monitoring it as a help desk person or as just a standard consumer person, I'm not going to know who all these people are, and they could have just dropped it in here. So then I would actually end up reaching out to the customer saying, I don't know what this is about. Can you please explain this more? And then what they would do is they would try to scam me as a person for that. So anytime you send an email back and forth, you can always go in and change the email addresses when you forward it from someplace to go back into it and type in whatever email address you want. And that's what they did.
So this is this a real conversation between two people and the email addresses were edited?
That's correct.
And then it ended up in your email box.
Hoping that then we would reach out.
You would pay money.
It would pay money for this or reach out to them because we did not understand why there was a shipping delay for these crates that were trying to go to Argentina. So what this does is this opens up then a conversation. They would then record all the conversation that they have, and they would social engineer whoever called on behalf of that large distribution alias to then get more information about the company that they can then try to lure in to the process itself. So this is a very, very complicated and a very slick way to attempt to gain information.
Did you call them?
No.
Did you write them?
No, I didn't even do anything with that because they spent so much time.
Like you.
No,
well, I know they spent so much time
there.
They've spent so much time trying to fake this. I had to give them at least some credit, so I moved it just to the deleted item and didn't have to give them any of my time or effort. Now, again, this all goes back to if you get an email here that made no sense. You had a couple different email addresses. You have Ace Hardware jumping into this. So when I'm reading this, I'm very confused. Any confusing email, just delete it. And if the person still needs to reach you, they're going to come.
That's what the benefit of getting old is.
What's that?
Is I look at emails and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I just trash it. I trash almost everything.
Okay.
Even work emails.
Well, I don't know if I'd actually do that, but okay. That's a safe way to be there. All right, Odie, I think you have a very interesting one too. So we want some very cool ones this week.
All right. So this is from Ali Ahmed via LinkedIn.
Oh.
Messaging digest no reply at linkedin.com.
Okay.
Subject, a deal just messaged you. And then the email itself is a picture of what LinkedIn looks like when they send you a message with a view message. What happens when you click it?
Oh, that's it. So it looks really good.
Oh, that's it?
It looks really... No. We're going to talk about what happens when you click it.
I honestly...
Would you click on that?
I would. It looks exactly what it... Like, after... Okay. If I'm not paying attention to what we've been doing for the past, years.
Yep.
I wouldn't have read this.
Okay.
And I would have just looked at it, and it looks... Because it has your picture right there.
It does.
It's
got my picture. It's got his picture. It's got a nice LinkedIn.
And he's a business development manager at Yam Pro Health and Well. Like, it has even the little line. I'd click it.
You clicked it. So guess what happens when it says view your message?
Sign in.
It says we're having an error viewing this message.
Oh.
Can you please sign into your LinkedIn account?
Yeah.
Now, I'm already signed into LinkedIn. So if I click on that, it should naturally just go into LinkedIn and open up the message, which if it was from LinkedIn, that's what would happen. So it says that it has a miscommunication. That could be that the LinkedIn message was deleted because he was a scammer, but that wasn't the case. Essentially, when I click on it again, it says the same error. And then when you go down to the bottom, there's a couple more links in there. When you click on those, then it says, we're having problems with your LinkedIn account. We would need you to log in with your username and password to verify it is you that's going to have it. It's got the same SMS text message that you'd have on LinkedIn.
Yep.
It is done to a T.
And what you're doing is normal.
No, I know.
That's the problem, is that
it looks so good.
You're just that's right. Your brain is saying, this looks real. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to verify. I'm going to go right to what it needs. And so there you go. Then
they get your
So what
information.
do they get with the LinkedIn?
They'll get your password.
Okay.
Right. So the idea is to get your username and password, and then
Then
for
they
them
can
to go into your
access
account.
your
And what they'll do is they'll just delete your account. They'll put your account into delete mode. So now you spend all this time creating your LinkedIn profile.
why? What's the
Your
point
delete.
of that?
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
because you can restore your LinkedIn account within 15 days, but they'll go automatically delete it. And they'll say, well, we'll give you your password now because they changed it. So you can go on in within 15 days and restore it if you pay us $1,500 or
That makes sense.
$2,000 or $3,000. So it's a hijack ransom
Uh-huh.
of your profile. And if you spent years and years and years, and my LinkedIn profile's at least 15 years old.
Well, I know
and
that
stuff.
some of these scammers do it so they can access your.
This scam specifically is to hijack, shut down your site. Then you have 15 days to get it. Otherwise, LinkedIn will remove it. There's no real way because you don't have your account accessible. So the only thing you do is plead to LinkedIn. LinkedIn normally doesn't get back to it in time. And so your account will then end up being deleted unless you pay them the fine. And if you pay them the fine, you're not always guaranteed to get LinkedIn access again.
Their customer service isn't as
They're
good?
not. They're not as
Okay.
good.
Wow, what
Dang
a
it.
shocker.
What a
All
shock.
right. My last one here before we move on here is essentially from Kaylee at aplusitex.com. Hi, I'm Kaylee, the marketing executive. We are one of the leading web development companies based in India. I get at least 15 of these a week.
Mhm.
Our specialization is developing full mobile optimized and SEO friendly websites. Here's what we can do: web design, web development, SEO, PC services, mobile apps development, blah, 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 blah. Waiting for your valuable reply. So
Is that a scam?
so this is
Or
this
is
is
that
a
just a
scam. This is
solicitor?
not a phishing attack, and this is not a ransomware attack. As we talked about, yours is kind of more of a phishing attack that would be looking for data, and Odie's was more of a scam type of event. What this is, though, is this is creating your profile for this company, aplusitex.com. So you call them back, you ask them about your HTML, you ask them about what's going on here. They want to find out all about your business. They want to get access to your information. And what they do is some of these companies are custom companies that will actually work on your website design. Never use a third party to edit your website, though, because if you have a third party overseas that's editing your website, they're always going to have your master password and your admin passwords, because that's how they have to set up stuff. So anytime, even if you change them, they do normally have back-end tools they can get in and take care of your site. But really what this is about a 45-minute business call where all they're doing is socially engineering you for all the information that they can find out about you and your company so they can sell it online.
Did you call them?
I have done this a couple times, not this company in itself, but I've called some of these companies that do it, and then I'll tell them information that I don't really care if they know about regarding organizations. And then sometimes I'll fib on some stuff on purpose, and then all of a sudden I'll get people reaching out to me and say that I'm a doctor, or say that I'm this, or say that I'm
You
like,
say that you're a
yeah,
doctor?
I said I'm a doctor, and it says,
Wow.
hi, Dr. Mumm, we'd like you, blah, 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 blah. I say, okay. There's only one person I told that to, and when I did this call, how are these people now sending me
very
solicitation?
Tyrian.
So there you go.
So you're leaving baits.
Was that
You-
so? I leave bait to figure out
You drink
how
and
long
know
it takes.
things, or don't you?
Was that?
You drink and know things, don't you? Did you watch Game of Thrones? See,
I-
that's what he did.
Yeah, I did a little bit. All right. Well, that ends our segments. Letters is now done. Up next, though, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey or cognac/wine. As we're going to be doing so during the break. We'll see you after this.
Join the fun and grab tickets to GeekFest West, the 3-day Geek Festival extravaganza of fun and entertainment that will take place on the third weekend in July. Learn more at geekfest.com. GeekFest will feature diverse activities, including a film festival, vendor hall, street fair, outdoor music festival, cosmic cosplay, and video game tournaments. Join us at GeekFest West, the ultimate celebration of geek culture. To learn more, visit geekfest.com. That is geekfest.com.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to May 31st, 1991. All your bases belong to us.
All your bases belong to us.
Now, this is like
this is a classic. This is one of the first memes.
One of the first memes. Classic meme. Let's actually explain how this came to be. Now, Sega releases a video game called Zero Wing for the Sega Mega Drive system in Europe. The side-scrolling shooter arcade video game developed by Toplan and originally published in Japan by Namco and North America by Williams Electronics. The game was never released in North America and was relatively unknown until years later when the poorly translated opening scene was popularized on the internet. The most famous mistranslation is the phrase, "All your base are belong to us," which has become a popular internet meme.
Yes, I remember
This
seeing
is,
that in 1994 or whatever.
yeah, this is before the Google Translate could help you. So you would
All
have
your
somebody,
base are belong to us.
yeah, so you'd have people come on in for imported games that were not made in America and then try to do translations. I remember there was a whole bunch of SNK games that came on out, and they were all Japanese-based games. And then they would come on over, and there's like baseball games, and then they'd have strike as strike, and then they'd have ball as ouch. And I mean, just like miscommunications of what you would have in the games themselves in the early days.
That's the reverse of going to a tattoo parlor and getting soup tattooed on your arm, thinking it's courage.
There you go. So there you go. The most famous mistranslated phrase is, "All your bases are belong to us." Now that was This Week in Technology.
All your base are belong to. Get
all,
it right,
all your
man.
base are belong to us. That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some tech time history with over 200 weekly broadcasts spanning 4+ years and videos, podcasts, and blog information, you can always visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we return, we have our Mark Mumble whiskey review for our cognac/wine. We'll see you after this break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right, what do we got here?
Hello. Okay, do y'all know what today is?
National Cognac Day.
Yay!
Oh, is that?
It is,
Way
yeah.
to go.
Way to go, but yeah,
My
high
God.
fives all around.
Yeah, that was just a freaking guess.
Well, that's okay. That's what I do too. Those are okay. All right.
So today
Yep.
invites you to have a laid-back day while enjoying one of the finest alcoholic drinks, cognac, which originates from a town of the same name in France.
Okay.
Is typically a type of brandy that many enjoy due to its distilled and fine taste. The beverage speaks of a splendor-rich atmosphere in which conversations are punctuated with sophisticated and intellectual topics. What a great spirit to sip on during Tech Time Radio.
Really, I don't think we're that pretentious.
No. Only Mark is.
I feel like it should be Savassier. You remember that from Saturday Night Live?
I do not.
Savassier.
No, what is it? I have no idea. What does that mean?
Look it up.
Okay.
Look it up.
I'll look it up right now. All right. Is there anything else that he says about this in the history?
No.
No.
But we can go on to the mumbles.
Well, hang on. What are you thinking about this though? You're already done with the
Yeah, like I said, it's a very pleasant tasting beverage, but it's not bourbon, obviously.
Right.
It has kind of a sweet taste to it. It's got some fruity notes, and then it has a pleasant finish, but it's not what I would consider to be. This is something nice to sip on.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I could sip on this. I mean, it's okay. It tastes a little fruity. It tastes a little different.
It's not
whiskey. It's not.
Right.
Right. It reminds me of Canadian Mist. Not
It's
really
like-
whiskey
Whoa.
either.
No, it's not. It's not Canadian Mist
No, it's
either.
not bad tasting
It's-
though. I should say it's not bad tasting. But I'm
It's
trying to say
it's whiskey wine. It's
Yeah.
all grape. I mean, and that's okay.
It literally is 100% great.
it is okay. All right,
Well, like all things magnificent, cognac is
Cognac?
cognac is as well, with specific standardizations that must be met in order for a brandy to even be recognized as cognac in the first place. For example, a true cognac must always come from the vineyards of the 6 certified regions located in the southwest France. The region where this cognac comes from is the Petite Champagne region. This area should not be confused with the famous region of Champagne, which is situated in the north of France. The Champagne wine region produces the iconic sparkling wine synonymous with special occasions. It is not a whiskey, but it is pretty darn tasty. This petite champagne has a ton of caramel and softer fruit tones. Think Eagle Rare / Elijah Craig. Definitely a bourbon's drinker's step into the world of cognac. Mark has been enjoying this along with his whiskey. Mark is curious what the guys will think of this. Which,
okay.
you know, I read it before the show. I wasn't expecting you to hate it. Not that you're hating it, but I wasn't expecting you to be so anti this drink.
I'm not anti anything.
He's probably gonna give it a thumbs up.
I've just said it's not bourbon.
It's just not bourbon. I'm actually used to the bourbon taste.
You're miscuing me, I think.
There you go. No. All right. Well,
I hate this stuff.
No. Thanks,
Cognac.
Rumble. As always, whiskey and technology, such a great pairing. Just like the rain showers in July and June in the Pacific Northwest, right? We just have rain showers.
Is that what you just typed?
No,
I saw you typing. Is that what you just?
No, I was working on
He
something
doesn't
else.
have his AI
you totally
anymore.
did. That's right. ChatGPT wasn't able to do your script.
All right. Let's prepare our technology fail of the week.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Well, our technology fail comes from YouTube. Now, the YouTube insider access is now being tied to massive leaks. Now, this is something that you can do. You can post. We're broadcasting right now on YouTube. We love YouTube. Don't just don't knock us off, YouTube. But what happens is you can pre-schedule events. And if you have videos that are done, you can actually post videos weeks and months ahead of time.
Yes.
And then at a certain time that it comes on up, it will release it. Happens to social media posts, any posts that you get. The chance of it actually being real time when it's posted doesn't happen.
Something that's in the YouTube
YouTube
system,
login.
or is it a third party?
No, it's in YouTube system.
Okay.
So you go and you log into YouTube and you can.
Is there a third party schedulers that do?
There are third party schedulers, but this is specifically with YouTube.
Okay.
And essentially, what's happening is now leaks around PlayStation, Nintendo have sparked concerns about Google employees that have had access to these not published videos. The leaks line up with last week's PlayStation State of Play surfaced shortly after the event was scheduled on YouTube. This has added even more concerns over the kinds of access Google employees have to videos before they go live, an issue highlighted in a recent report from the Insider Gaming Tom Henderson's and 404 Media. One incident as noted by Henderson occurred in 2022 when KSI attempted to do a giveaway of over $10,000 in Amazon gift cards. However, KSI later realized that all the gift card codes had been redeemed before the video was even posted, sparking an internal investigation into YouTube. The company reportedly started a similar investigation when the trailer of Grand Theft Auto 6 leaked, but it was not clear whether it was related to YouTube or not. Now, this goes on to essentially all the way back in 2017 when Nintendo Leak was offered the new Yoshi's Crafted World, and a Google contractor found the video and decided to share it with friends before it was officially posted.
So essentially, these are Google engineers sitting around looking at videos and saying, "Oh, look at this."
That's correct. So here's a company that's decided to upload something that they've already pre-done, already have it baked in. It hasn't been released to the public. They go and they put it on the video feed to release at 6 a.m. on a certain day, or 5 p.m. or 3:30 with the video to announce it. And what's happening are their Google employees and contractors are going on in and just surfing for all the hidden non-published videos, watching them, and then leaking out information and becoming content experts in different aspects. I actually believe I have an example of this that happened to a game I play all the time called Sea of Thieves, where there was this one individual that had never been heard of before in that community. Started posting all these updates that were going to happen with season 9. No way this guy could have been so correct. I mean, this guy was so spot on that it was concerning. And now we find out that Google essentially has these leaks.
Sounds like YouTube and Google need to figure out their stuff.
Well, guess what, Mike? Now it's time for your mesmerizing moment.
Oh, yay.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
All right, so I got a couple minutes
about games.
Was that? I want to ask you about facial recognition.
All right, what about it?
Is it a problem, and what needs to be changed to make this work?
Okay, so this is always is more difficult.
And I only give you a minute, so that's right.
Than it is to look at it.
Okay.
Right. So the problem with facial recognition inherently is that the people who program it have inherent biases, and those go into the programming. So at one point, we're seeing inherent bias coming out in the results. The face is more complex than people seem to think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Your face can produce over 10,000 facial expressions. And so the camera may be picking up one thing and identifying it as something else.
Okay.
And of course, there's physical things like lighting and partial. So do I think this can be improved? Not a whole lot. I don't think. I think we're going to continue to see problems with facial recognition misidentifying people, especially since this has been going on for years.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Even with lineups and people forget. You know what the number one thing is?
Well, we did that one
Yeah.
before where it was like you would scan your face and then it would find your pictures online, and it kept pulling up pictures, especially me. It kept pulling up pictures who none of them were me.
Best way to ID that I've seen to be very, very successful is your thumbprint. You know, you put your thumbprint on there. I'm sure you can fake it according to Mission Impossible and all these type of deals.
You can probably fake anything that's electronically
engineered, but having that actual thumbprint put down and scanning and looking at it seems to work much better than your face. All right, well, let's go to our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, here's for you. Do you want to opt out of Instagram and Facebook?
I just
as far as at least using that for AI. Well, if you're in Europe, users can opt out. Meta's new AI chat tools across Facebook, Instagram, and other products in the Meta universe, especially over the pond, allow you to opt out of selling any of the information that you use into their AI tool.
And that's due to their law, right?
To the privacy laws that are specifically created to not allow personal information to be used. Now let's go and talk about the United States, though. The United States, not the European nations, not European users, do not have a tool to essentially use to opt out. Now, the tool that's in Europe is a little bit complicated. You actually have to go through and submit a letter, say you need to opt out, say for copyright reasons. So it's not an easy slide on, slide off type of box. But why is it the U.S. users do not have this? Well, we do not have GDPR laws in the United States. And our U.S. laws are so convoluted on data and personal information that we're sharing with, that the government who buys information from Meta is probably not too enacted to get that changed because they want to have that information also.
That's why you just delete your Facebook.
That's why you just delete yours at Facebook. I always see these people
and
post stuff that says,
Instagram.
Facebook, you can't use my pictures. None of that works, people. Whenever I see those posts go around, I'm like, oh, you got to be killing me.
You just write them back and put them in. I already did.
No, that's right. I haven't done that. Okay.
Sorry.
Let's do our pick of the day here.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right. Today we're tasting the Cognac Park Single Barrel Cellar number 5 from 2016. 90 proof, 100% grapes, $75, aged 7 years. Almost 7 years.
Thumbs
up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Oh, I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up.
Yay!
Thumbs up.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, I'm giving it a thumbs down. I want whiskey.
Okay.
Where's Mark with my whiskey?
You can't give it a thumbs down based on what it is.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Of course, you
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTime Radio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.